This is NewHampshireTrackandField.com, powered by Runners Alley. Coming to you from the Mini Elite number 3. We're at Portsmouth High School today. Today and the rest of the Mini Elite meets are brought to you by Tim's Truck Capital over in Epsom, New Hampshire. Joined with me today, I have Evan Tangway, former state champion, coming back from college to help call some of these races. And it looks like today we start off with our women's 3200.
Yeah, so this 3200 is actually going to be pretty exciting when we look at the lineup overall. To start, we have Laza Corso from Portsmouth Christian, Morgan Orcutt, Anna Madden, Allison McFarland, Catherine Kennedy, Katie Watt, Gracie McHugh, Leah Poteet, and Tessa Millette from Co Brown. So as we can see, they're lining up, about to start the race, and it is a little bit windy today, so these races aren't going to necessarily be the all-out from the get-go. It's going to be a lot of tactical and sit-and-kick type races. So we're going to see how some of these racers who like to go out front and just kind of hold it change their race plan and kind of progress from there. So it's going to be an exciting day, and yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. As we see, we're off for the first race. As we see Corso go out, take the lead. We're going to see them settle in. We're going to see, I want to see exactly where on this on the track the wind really hits them. I know yesterday when we were at Bow, we were watching the Bow meet, and the wind was coming down on the final straightaway, which is not the ideal place to have wind because you're trying to just get to the line. So we'll see how it is today, but overall right now they got out. Looks like they're settling in pretty well right now. You can already see two groups kind of forming. And yeah, it's the first race of the day, 3200. We're going to see how it goes.
That would be Liza Corso out in front. Next to her, I'd have to imagine would be Morgan Orcutt.
I would assume as of right now, we see, yes, it is Concord. Looking at that next pack, you're seeing a cluster of different schools all kind of settling and working together. We've got a mix of Exeter, a little bit of Concord in there. And it's one of those races that you have so much time that you almost want to work with your competitors for the middle part of the race and then use that last lap or two to really try to separate yourself from them. Trying to make a move on your own, especially when you're kind of on an island in between Liza and Morgan up front. It's going to be kind of hard to close that gap individually, so you want to work with your competitor to get up to them.
Overall today, the sun finally came out. It was a bunch of clouds earlier, a lot of rain last couple of days, and it's been pretty windy, although I think it's starting to die down.
Yeah, the sun will definitely help in terms of staying a little bit warmer overall. Having the sun come down on you is definitely nice, but the wind is the determining factor in a lot of these races, as a lot of people don't understand and how to run through the wind. A lot of people try to fight through it. The key is to relax, and if these athletes can figure out how to relax through the wind, it's going to help them in the end of the race. Instead of trying to push through and burn more energy trying to fight the wind, you got to work with it. So it's going to be interesting to see who can adapt and who can do that, and who the wind's going to take a toll on. So as we look in that second group, we can kind of see it starting to split up a little bit. We can see a Concord athlete try to take off and work their way up to that lead group. We're going to see if the Exeter girls right behind can follow. This is the second lap going into the third lap of the 3200. And like I said, the 3200 is an interesting race. I kind of compare it almost to a 5K in a way because you have to split it up into sections. You have the first lap or two where you really have to get out and you have to settle and kind of find your spot in the race. And from there, you have to completely settle in, kind of get your mind straight and focused. The hardest part to me in this race, same with a 5K, a lot of these longer distance races, you have to get to the point where you're confident and where you are in the race and settle in and let your mind kind of go and just run, because that middle part can really determine how fast you can run, and it can make or break your race. Once you get to the last lap or two, that's when the adrenaline kicks in. That's when you know you're about to finish. And to run 2 laps is a lot easier than to think, oh, I have 6 laps to go. So if these athletes can work together through that middle 4 laps, the last 2 laps will come, on their own. So As we see that middle pack is spreading out, two Exeter athletes working together to move up to the Concord athlete as they're trying to hunt down that first group of Corso and Orcutt. Orcutt's sitting right on the shoulder of Corso, so we're going to see if she's going to make a move at some point or she's going to hang on and they're going to go for it. It's not a bad idea to try to switch off here and there on the laps, but it also depends on how Corso is running the race. If she wants to take the lead the entire time, that gives her confidence. That's what she's going to do. If Orcutt, it's not a bad idea just to sit on her if she does what she's going to do. But we're going to see as they're going into lap 4. There's still definitely a little wind, but doesn't look as bad as it was earlier on.
Yeah, it looks like wind might have been playing a little bit of havoc with our clock there, but hopefully we'll get a nice steady stream now. That clock is coming directly from our timers. We do have FAT today, fully automatic timing, so they'll get a nice picture of it. So all of our results will be accurate down to the 100th, no problem, which will be a benefit later on when we get to some of those sprints. In these distance, I don't know how much distance runner really cares about a 100th of a second.
100th of a second, not as much, but when we're talking, seconds, that's when it matters. And that's when the whole fighting through the wind can come in. If you're trying to fight the wind the entire race of a 3200, that's going to play a role in the amount of time that you are, gaining and or losing. So as we see right now, we see Corso and Orcutt up front as we see that Concord athlete move right up into that pack. So now we're going to see if she can hang on and work with them for the last half of this race. We see the two Exeter athletes working together right here, eyes up on that group in front, as well as another Exeter athlete and Concord athlete, eyes on them.
Again, with today's modified schedule, we start with our 3200, and we don't have a 1600. So anyone who would be in that kind of range will be in this race, which is why we're seeing some pretty good competition up front now that 3 girls are up there.
So we see them go through the backstretch. Looks like Concord might try to make a move here. We're going to see what Corso does in response. But yeah, the biggest thing is, especially for that Concord athlete, it looks like she's actually going to go up and try to take the lead here. It depends on how good you feel right now. We're halfway through the race. This is getting to the toughest part of the race, in my opinion. They race to the corner right now, so Concord's going to take the lead going to the corner. If they can get to single file and work together, kind of work on each other's shoulders, that's the idea right now, but they're going too wide. We'll see how that plays out later on in the race. But Corso's going to sit right on them and let them work. This is kind of what I was talking about earlier on when you want to try to switch off, help each other out in the middle of the race when it is tough, when your mind can get to you. But Corso's going to sit right in between them and let them, work. And let's see how this plays out going into the last half. We have 3 laps to go. And Corso looks pretty good right there, hanging in the back.
Yeah, definitely a benefit for her to have a couple other girls to run with. A lot of times in D3, she is used to running out alone, so this
100%.
should help.
The thing, it could help, but it also could be, it could be a mental battle for her and herself because she has people around her. When you run by yourself a lot, it can be a shock to the system when you have people around you. So sometimes you don't know how to respond. But she looks very comfortable right now. I am impressed at that Concord athlete that moved up from that second pack and slowly worked her way up to now the lead of the race. So we're going to see if Corso